Hello word intro music fades and then fades out. Hi everyone and welcome back to Hello Word, the podcast that helps you expand your English vocabulary one word at a time. I'm your host, Alex, and I'm thrilled to have you join me today. Our word of the day is cite. So, what does cite mean? Well, it's a verb, and at a B2 level, it essentially means to mention something as evidence or support for an argument, claim, or idea. Think of it as bringing something up to back up what you're saying. It's a crucial skill for academic writing, debates, and even everyday conversations when you want to sound convincing. You often cite sources in essays or research papers, but you can also cite examples from your own life to illustrate a point. Let's look at some synonyms for cite. How about quote? For example, the lawyer quoted several witnesses to support his client's alibi. Notice how quote acts as a way of providing evidence or support, just like cite. Another good synonym is reference. You might say, the professor referenced several studies in her lecture. Again, reference means to bring something up to support a point or provide further information. A third synonym is mention. For example, she mentioned a recent article that supported her argument. While mention is a more general term, in this context, it implies bringing something up as relevant to the discussion. Now, let's flip things around and look at some antonyms of cite. What words have the opposite meaning? One good antonym is disregard. If you cite something, you're paying attention to it, but if you disregard something, you're ignoring it. For instance, the committee disregarded the evidence presented by the opposing team. Another antonym is ignore. Similar to disregard, ignore means to pay no attention to something. For example, he ignored the warning signs and continued driving too fast. A third antonym could be overlook. This means to fail to notice or consider something. For example, the editor overlooked a few grammatical errors in the manuscript. Now, let's talk about using cite in everyday life. You might not think you use this word very often, but you probably do in a more informal way. For instance, if someone asks you why you think a particular movie is good, you might say, well, I cite the amazing acting and the innovative special effects as reasons why it's a must-see. You're essentially providing evidence to support your opinion. In more formal settings, like at work, you might say, I'd like to cite the positive feedback from our clients as evidence that this new strategy is working. Here are some more examples of cite in sentences and phrases. The student was penalized for failing to cite his sources properly. The author cited numerous historical documents to support his claims. Can you cite an example of a time when you demonstrated leadership skills? Cite your sources when writing a research paper. The company cited economic factors as the reason for the layoffs. The journalist cited an anonymous source in her article. He cited his experience as the reason he was qualified for the job. The lawyer cited a previous case to support his argument. The scientist cited the results of her experiment to prove her hypothesis. Please cite specific examples from the text. I hope these examples have helped you understand how to use cite correctly. Let's recap. Cite means to mention something as evidence or support. Synonyms include quote, reference, and mention. Antonyms include disregard, ignore, and overlook. And remember, citing your sources is essential for academic integrity and clear communication. That brings us to the end of today's episode. I hope you found it helpful. Thank you for joining me on Hello Word. Before you go, I have a small request. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe to the podcast and leave a review on your favorite platform. Your support helps others find the show and learn English with us. Also, I'd love to see how you're using the word cite. Create your own sentence using the word cite and share it as a comment under the video. I'm excited to see what you come up with. Until next time, keep learning and keep practicing.
Goodbye.
Hello Word outro music fades in.